Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. Today we will see the book of Leviticus chapters 18 and 19. Leviticus chapter 18, Laws regarding sexual immorality. In Leviticus chapter 18, God gives specific instructions to the people of Israel regarding sexual relationships and behaviors. The Lord emphasizes the importance of holiness and purity in the area of sexuality, providing guidelines to protect the sanctity of marriage and the well-being of individuals and the community. God begins by addressing close family relationships. He prohibits sexual relations between close relatives, such as parents and children, siblings, and close relatives by blood. These relationships are considered incestuous and are deemed immoral in God's eyes. The chapter also condemns sexual relations with a woman during her menstrual period. It highlights the importance of respecting the natural cycles and boundaries established by God. God further warns against adultery, which involves engaging in sexual relations with someone other than one's spouse. Adultery is seen as a betrayal of the marriage covenant and a violation of the trust and commitment between husband and wife. Additionally, God addresses the abhorrent practices of the nations around Israel. He forbids engaging in sexual relations with individuals of the same sex, as it goes against the natural order established by God. God concludes the chapter by emphasizing the importance of obedience to His laws. He warns that the people of Israel should not follow the immoral practices of the surrounding nations, as doing so would lead to their defilement and separation from God. In Leviticus chapter 18, we see God's concern for the purity and holiness of His people, particularly in the realm of sexual relationships. The laws provided in this chapter serve as a guide for the Israelites to maintain sexual integrity and avoid immoral practices. These laws were intended to protect the sanctity of marriage, ensure the well-being of individuals and families, and maintain the moral fabric of the community. While some of these laws may seem restrictive or outdated in today's context, they reflect God's desire for His people to lead lives that honor Him and promote healthy and committed relationships. They also point forward to the importance of sexual purity and fidelity within the context of marriage. As believers today, we can seek to apply the principles of love, faithfulness, and purity in our own relationships. Recognizing that God's standards for holiness and morality remain relevant and timeless. Leviticus chapter 19, Laws for Holy Living. In Leviticus chapter 19, God gives the people of Israel a set of commandments and instructions for holy living. These guidelines cover various aspects of daily life and relationships, emphasizing the importance of righteousness, love, and justice in their interactions with one another. God begins by emphasizing the significance of honoring parents and keeping the Sabbath day holy. He instructs the people to observe the Sabbath and not to engage in work on that day. They are also reminded to show respect and honor to their parents. The chapter then addresses several ethical principles and commands. God commands the people not to worship idols or practice divination. He emphasizes the importance of honesty, justice, and fairness in their dealings with one another. They are not to steal, lie, or deceive one another, but rather to act with integrity and speak the truth. God also emphasizes the importance of caring for the poor and needy. The people are instructed not to oppress or take advantage of the vulnerable but to show compassion and generosity. They are to leave part of their harvest for the poor to gather, and they are not to withhold wages from their workers. The chapter further addresses various relational and moral issues. The people are commanded not to slander or bear false witness against one another. They are not to seek revenge or hold grudges but to love their neighbors as themselves. Sexual immorality is condemned, and people are called to practice sexual purity within the bounds of marriage. God also addresses the mixing of different kinds of animals, fabrics, and crops. He instructs the people not to engage in such practices, which symbolize a distinction between what is holy and what is common. Leviticus chapter 19 emphasizes the importance of living a life of holiness, love, and justice. The commandments and instructions given by God are meant to guide the people of Israel in their daily lives and relationships. They provide a framework for righteous living, promoting kindness, fairness, and compassion towards one another. As believers today, we can learn from these principles and strive to apply them in our own lives. We are called to love and honor our parents, observe times of rest and worship, and treat others with honesty, fairness, and compassion. These principles reflect God's desire for His people to live in harmony, righteousness, and holiness, reflecting His character and bringing glory to His name. We will continue with the next chapters in the book of Leviticus. May God bless you all. Amen.